again, David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I just got back from a Bitcoin Alive 2024, and fuck me, I am exhausted now. So fucking... when was the last time? Okay, so I went to that networking thing last night. That was cool. That was actually pretty good. I got to meet all the speakers who were going to be on the conference today. Had a lurk around. Spent like maybe an hour and a half there. It was nice. And I was like, all right, that's calmed me down a little bit. I'm not so worried anymore. I know the type of people that are going to be there. I know how to make that type laugh. And they all seem like cool people. Well, the speakers did anyway. So I sort of calmed down a little bit. Wake up this morning, that was all sweet, had a nice sleep in. Go out to the convention centre. It was actually the Roundhouse, Union New South Wales Roundhouse, where I've spent a lot of time getting fucked up back in the day. That place used to be heaven. Anyway, I get there and it's a great event. It's set up well. All the speakers are great. I find the organisers... and they're like, are you ready to do comedy today? And I'm like, I'm fucking fired up. I'm excited, looking forward to it. They're like, oh, great. It's going to be great. We've got you outside in the beer garden. I'm like, what? This is at like 12:30. I'm meant to be on at 6:20. They're like, yeah, we've got you on out in the beer garden. I'm like, oh my God. Beer garden? And I've been to the Roundhouse a million times. I know the beer garden. I used to fucking dart up hard in the beer garden. I'm like, how the fuck are you going to do comedy in the beer garden there? This is going to be an absolute fucking disaster. And so I go out there and I'm just like, oh... oh no, this is fucked. So I'm like, all right, here we go. Here we fucking go. And then the guy's like, we might actually have you inside because a lot of people will be hanging inside. So we'll see. So I'm like, oh, fucking please, God, fucking be inside. And so I'm lurking around. I'm thinking, I'm just like, prepare for the worst. Prepare for the beer garden, which is going to be a disaster. And so I watch a bunch of stuff. It was a real cool event. There's some fucking real smart people in Bitcoin world. It does have some like born again Christian-y vibes to it though. There is a little bit of cult vibe to it. And if you think I sound insane about Bitcoin, then fucking go to the Bitcoin convention then. Some of these people were blowing me out of the water. I said to one chick, I was like, oi, I'm like nodding, but if you said this shit outside in the world, people would think you're fucking insane. But I'm nodding in agreement. So, but I would never say what she said, but I fully understood it. She's like, because of Bitcoin, I was able to have a natural birth. My husband delivered it. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me, but I understand Bitcoin. Like, I understand it right down to the bone. People out there don't understand what Bitcoin is. And if you fucking said that in public, they would arrest you. So yeah, the Bitcoiners out there are hardcore, but all fucking really nice people. Really nice semi-autistic people. Fucking hell. So I watch a bunch of shit, and all this while I'm sort of lurking around the area where he said maybe they'll set up a stage inside, and no stage action at all. I'm getting my stuff together. About an hour before I'm meant to be doing my set, I find the organizer. I'm like, all right, so I heard some rumors we're going to be doing this inside. He's like, nah, you're outside in the beer garden. We've got a DJ playing out there. I'm like, all right, this is going to be fucked. This is going to be real fucked. So I go out into the beer garden again and I just size the joint up. I'm like, this is one of the worst setups I've ever had. There's umbrellas everywhere. If you're at the back, I took a little video of it. I'll put it on Patreon so you get to see what this fucked up setup was like. I took a video specifically for the Patreon. That's how much I care. So there's umbrellas, like those huge umbrellas at every table, and they're blocking the view. And I'm standing at the back and I'm like, no one's going to be able to fucking see. So I fucking speak to the organizer. I'm like, we've got to set this up fucking properly. And they're like, yeah, it'll be fine. And I'm like, no. I don't think you understand. It's bad enough we're in a beer garden. That itself is a problem. But we've also got giant umbrellas in the way. And there's not going to be a view because no one's coming up the front. I know that from experience. They're going to be hanging at the back. And if they're hanging at the back and these fucking umbrellas are blocking, they're not going to be able to see shit. So I'm like, all right, I got to fucking readjust the furniture. So I just started readjusting the fucking tables and chairs everywhere by myself with the help of some other dude. I'm like, get this here. We've got to open up the space a little bit. This is a nightmare. I was saying to him, I'm like, if this is anything less than the worst bomb of my life, I'll be happy. It's a win. And he's like, and he's the guy who runs the actual venue. He's like, we would never have even thought about putting comedy out here. It's insane. And I'm like, it's insane. So anyway, I sort it out and I'm like, well, this is as good as it's going to get. And then I find one of the other organizers and she's like, hey, you're on soon. Are you excited? I'm like, yeah, I'm excited. But what we need to do is we need to drag some people forward because they're all going to be out the back. I know. Can we just like drag them forward? And she's like, just start speaking and they'll come forward. I'm like, what? Just start doing your thing and they'll come forward. I'm like, yeah. But I like that could take half my set. I'm like, can we just like coax some of them in? She's like, yeah, I'll say something to people. They'll be good. I'm like, can we get someone to introduce me on stage as well? Just to get their attention at the start. Just to let them know. So I'm not doing a fully cold start. Like the start's going to be fucked anyway, but I don't want to be doing like a full introduce myself. Guys, come sit up the front type thing. And they're like, yeah, but you just jump on stage and just start. I'm like, and then I'm laughing to myself. I'm seriously just walking around just going, fucking whatever. I went outside to go over some of my shit because not only this, you got to remember this is 20 minutes of new fucking material I've never performed before, ever, anywhere. Not even tested any jokes. And it's about Bitcoin to a Bitcoin crowd. And now I've got fucking umbrellas and shit flying around. I'm outdoors in front of a fucking tree in a big empty beer garden, a big spacious beer garden, which is, none of this is good for comedy. Have you seen comedy rooms? They're tiny, dank, low roof, dark places. So people can hide in the dark and laugh, guiltily laugh at shit. Anything other than that, it's a nightmare. That's why I always found comedy so fucking stupid. There's only certain places you can do it. Anyway, it comes time to do my show and people are sort of like moving a little bit forward. I didn't see anyone tell anyone that the comedy's on it. I think the guy did say something to people and then the guy, the organizer, gets on stage to introduce me and he goes on for a little bit, which was good. did like 45 seconds, maybe a minute on stage, just talking, thanking everyone and all that sort of stuff, which was actually handy. And then I get on stage and there is a bit of a crowd sort of brewing, but no one stops talking. Everyone's drinking and all that sort of stuff. And I get on stage and now I just have to fucking take control, baby. I'm like, you ready? Whatever the fuck I said. I'm like, oh, I think that's Michael Saylor on stage and he's a big famous Bitcoiner. And then some people stopped talking and like looked and I'm like, oh my God, you guys are such fucking nerds. and then I just went into my set and I fucking tell you what, it went fucking great somehow. Somehow. I have no idea how, but everyone sort of came forward and I knew if people would pay attention or listen a little bit and stop fucking talking to each other, I could get them and I could hold them. But yeah, I got them to quiet down. I got them to fucking pay attention. And then fucking pretty much all my jokes hit. I mean, like, you're in a beer garden, so you're not getting like the continuous like roar of laughter. But sort of if you can hear laughter in a situation or a setup that I was in, you're fucking killing. If you can even hear laughter. And I could hear laughter and I got on some good rolls and the material was coming out good and I was hitting spots and it just fucking ended up being a fucking really good set and everyone seemed to enjoy it and everyone was happy with it and I got off stage and because I was like so fucking stressed out all day and it's been a long fucking like week sorting this shit out and I was fucking nervous about the whole thing, like the 20 new minutes and all that sort of shit. I just fucking walked out and I was like, oh, I just need 10 minutes to just decompress. And so I just sat on a park bench just staring straight ahead for a little while. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go back in. And then when I went back in, fucking everyone was like, that was fucking great, man. That was great. That was hard. And I don't even think they know if I'm a comedian or not. I think they just thought I was some guy trying some Bitcoin shit. No, there's no way they thought that. Anyone just starting out comedy and was thrown into a situation like that, 110% bomb. Only comedians will really understand what the fuck I'm talking about here. A cavernous beer garden outdoors. Oh my God. Daylight. It was daylight as well. That's even worse. Everything that could possibly go against you was against me. Except the only thing I had going for me was the audio. The sound was great. And I had a mic stand. Everything else was fucking against me. But I managed to fucking pull it off and Jesus Christ. It was great. It was great in the end. It was worth putting in all that effort. Now I can be like the Bitcoin comedian. There was some like kind of famous-y sort of Bitcoin people there and they came up to me and they're like, that was fucking great. So yeah, I am fucking absolutely cooked now. Just exhausted. I kind of want to do my Bitcoin material again somewhere. So I'll probably go to some other event. We'll see. But now, like, I can be referred by people. They're like, yeah, he was at fucking Bitcoin Alive. So if I want to do any other events, I think it's going to be a lot easier. A lot less trouble. And at least I can speak to the organizers next time and say, hey, not in the fucking beer garden, all right? Anyway, I need to get to fucking sleep. I need a good fucking sleep. That'll do it for today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and see you the fuck later.